your loved artist is experiencing same face syndrome, try Scrib's advice today. Side effects may include Hello everybody, it's Scribs, and this week we are going to be talking about same face syndrome. I was struggling with what to talk about this week until I saw a post from one of my mutuals on Twitter that said they think they were suffering from same face syndrome. And this is really interesting because 2 years ago I posted a video about same face syndrome, and I basically gave a few tips that I'll be going over here more in depth actually. And it didn't really do it, like got to the point, but it didn't say everything I wanted to say, which is that same face syndrome is basically when you draw the same face over and over, no matter how different the characters are. So I'm showing an example of this, of where I literally just color my character Chloe a different skin color, but ultimately everything about her is the same. And despite trying really hard not to, I have fallen into this trap myself over the recent years, which is really annoying because when I'm trying to draw original people, I feel like I just end up drawing my OCs over and over instead. Like, this is supposed to be Princess Peach, but it looks like Daisy, but it looks like my character Vincent. That brings us into tip number 1, which is if you catch yourself experiencing same face syndrome, change a few minor details. This is Chloe in her natural state, and then I give her a longer jaw so that she can actually look a little different. Right here she looks disproportionate, but once she gets less defined cheekbones, it's not really exactly the same face. The wider jaw gives it even more of a difference, and to top it all off, the longer nose bridge, topping it all off with the thicker eyebrows actually creates a whole different character. Tip number 2 is if you catch yourself experiencing same face syndrome, to change the ethnic background. Now, the reason I say this is because a lot of the time, I think what trips people up is that they're drawing the same face over and over again and forgetting that there's many different ways to draw somebody, even from the same ethnic background, right? So I don't think that anybody's ever necessarily aiming to draw a specific character when they're drawing, so that might be one of the reasons that they're falling into the same traps. But I feel like if you study how different people look, you will learn that there's many different ways to depict that without even changing too much per se. I am drawing a few celebrities from similar races but different ethnicities to show you just exactly that. I think that sometimes even when I'm drawing, I forget about the many ways to draw people, and I default to drawing my OCs over and over. And I could even draw my OCs as if they were a different person but the same race, because most of my characters are black. And then other characters are like fantasy or whatever. But I could draw them in a completely different way as well. I was going to do that, and I'll probably insert that footage here, but I stopped because I started using a rendering style that I just don't actually use. Yeah. So then I became discouraged. But I feel like a lot of the time when I'm drawing and I've studied faces, I still forget to remember everything that I learned and I forget to draw that. So I'm pretty excited in this case that I'm remembering those details and I'm including them as I draw other characters. One thing I find very interesting about drawing different ethnicities or different races is a lot of people struggle with it because they're not capturing certain aspects right, like the monolid, or even making sure the nose or the mouth isn't oversized. So I also referenced people as I was doing these swaps. Basically, I would not tell you to do this if this isn't your own character or and especially if the race or ethnicity is vital to the character that you're drawing. But for me, my character Chloe, I was simply just trying to draw her as different, like what she would look like if she were different races or in different universes, to show you guys that example. So if she was black but I drew her differently, I decided to draw her with like a water wet wash and go style that used to be popular, and I gave her lighter skin and I think a wider nose, and then I decided to draw her if she was Asian, and this was really fun because I got a feeling for what features would change when I was drawing Chloe, as opposed to what would stay the same, and how accurate I was being in my depictions. And also, I was really struggling with drawing the hair, but I think it's a little bit better than it was before when I was initially having a tough time. I think some of the studies that I was doing really have been incorporated in my work, which was one of the things I was worried about. My last tip that I'm not going to show you guys in this video was sometimes same is good. So you can look at real life siblings, or like I used celebrity siblings in the last video as a reference to see that even though they look similar, they're different. So that could really help with same face syndrome. It's similar to the tip number 1, but it's a little bit different. This last one I'm drawing Chloe White, and she looks like Lana Del Rey a little bit, or somebody who likes Lana Del Rey. I never tried to draw Lana before, actually. I like her music. I don't really pay attention to her, but every time I do, I'm not a fan of what she's saying, so I just ignore that and listen to the music. But I really had fun creating today's video. If you got this far, comment a what emoji? Comment a lipstick emoji, and let me know if you struggle with same face syndrome, if you struggle with the opposite thing, which is drawing characters consistently. Bye.